Peace and blessings, everybody. Good morning, man. Good morning. Hey, listen, I'm just trying to, this morning, I wanted to reach out to everybody, man. I'm just sitting here, finish my prayers and having my tea. And I wanted to talk about, I was thinking about, um, I was thinking about the issue that we have as a people. And a lot of us, especially when you out here, you're trying to do your own because we're living in a world that the best words, the deck is stacked against us. They promote wealth, they promote um, success, but wealth and success is like they're dangling a carrot in front of a mule. It would be hard for people to actually deal and actually be successful. You know, with the time of social media and people becoming successful through social media is changing the paradigm on how people can gain generational wealth. But one of the problems that we have is many of us have a fixed mindset. We have a fixed mindset. And because we have a fixed mindset, it's hard for us to grow, right? A fixed mindset hinders personal growth. And when we have that type of issue, you know, we wonder why we're running into all these type of roadblocks because of the fact that it's our mindset. It's our mindset and our beliefs in one's abilities, intelligence, and talents are inherent and unchangeable. And a lot of us refuse to learn things because we're holding on to a lot of our old beliefs that might have worked 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 years ago, but in the present, those beliefs are actually hindering us. And what are the when you have a fixed mindset, here are the things that you have to evaluate yourself. A lot of us, man, a lot of us don't want to check our spiritual transmission. You know, with a transmission in the car, right? The car will go to first gear, then it will shift to second. It will shift to second, and then it will shift to third. That's like our spiritual transmission. We can't get out of first to get to fifth gear because we haven't checked our spiritual transmission. So part of checking our spiritual transmission is doing what? Is changing our mindset out of a fixed mindset. So what does it look like when we have a fixed mindset? We avoid challenges. We avoid challenges that come into our life. People with a fixed mindset often avoid challenges, fearing that failure might expose their perceived limitations. This prevents them from stepping out of their comfort zone and trying new things. What is another? Fearing of failure. Individuals with fixed mindsets see failure as a reflection of their inherent abilities rather than an opportunity to learn and grow. Failure is part of growth, brothers and sisters. Failure is part of growth. As a result, they may not take the risks or pursue goals that could lead in personal development. Another attribute of someone that has a fixed mindset is neglecting effort. Those with fixed mindsets often believe that they have to put in effort. It means the lack of natural talent. Those with fixed mindsets often believe that if they have to put in the effort to do it, it means they lack the talent. This can lead to a lack of persistence and a tendency to give up easily when faced with obstacles, and it will stunt their growth. Here's another thing that people with you'll see a lot of people with fixed mindsets. Here's one more thing. They ignore feedback. They ignore feedback even from people that care for them. People with fixed mindsets may dismiss constructive criticism, seeing it as a personal attack rather than an opportunity to identify areas for improvement. This can hinder their ability to learn from others and redefine their skills. See, when you're dealing with a person with a fixed mindset and you're in their circle of trust and they don't listen, that means they have a fixed mindset or they take it as an attack on their abilities. You know, sometimes you, why do fighters have people in their corner in a boxing match? When Mike Tyson is out there boxing, he goes back to the corner and they say, what? Keep your left up. He's open. He when he jabs, he lowers his jab because they see the fight from a different perspective than the fighter that's in the fight. So when you have people in your corner, in your circle, and they're trying to give you constructive criticism or give you guidance because they see you in the fight, but they're seeing your fight at a different perspective and you don't listen, that is a fixed mindset. That's having a fixed mindset. What is another fixed mindset? Comparing themselves to others. And this is the worst. This is the worst attribute of a fixed mindset when you compare yourself to others. People that have fixed mindsets and they compare themselves to others, they often focus on their abilities to others rather than focusing on their own progress. This can lead to feeling of inadequacy and a lack of motivation to pursue personal growth. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't worry about what the others are doing. Focus on who you are, your craft, right? And be the best at that. Huh? Don't focus on other people. We get lost in focusing on other people or worrying about what other people are saying. We always get lost when we do those things. So what does scripture say about having a fixed mindset? In Matthew 18:15, check what Jesus says according to Matthew. I'm just going to read the end, but it's Matthew's 18:1-5. But I'm going to read that. I'm going to read the end of it where he says, whoever humbles himself like a child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Whoever receives one such child in my name receives me. Now, why did Jesus tell his disciples and tell his followers to humble themselves like a child. You ever watched a child? I talked about this before, but I talked about it in fear. But this verse also really discusses our mindsets and and how do we change our mindset from having a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And Jesus tried to explain to his disciples that you have to have a mind as a child. And if we ever watched a child, they're fearless. They don't know fear. They will jump, fall, they will do whatever. Because they're not taught by society yet. They're not given bad habits. We all have grown up with bad habits, whether we believe it or not. That's why the best thing for us is therapy. People walking around crazy like a mug, but they don't want to go to therapy and find themselves. If you are a business owner and you want to do business and deal with people, you should go to therapy first. Learn who you are. How are you going to help people in business and you don't know who the hell you are? Huh? This is the morning tea. So, what does this passage? We have to have childlike humility. Jesus emphasized the importance of humility using a child as an example. Children always exhibit growth mindsets. Adults have fixed mindsets. When we should have a growth mindset through our whole life. What Jesus was saying is that we have to turn and become like children. This implies the necessity for change and growth, which is in contrast to a rigid, unchanging, fixed mindset that many of us have as adults, and we refuse to change and we refuse to listen because we think we know it all, but we don't know nothing. We don't know anything. We don't even read a book. We say we don't have time to read a book. How are you an adult and you don't have time for continued learning? We must focus on spiritual growth, right? He also shifts in this passage to spiritual growth, not just accomplishments, spiritual growth and character development. You are not growing if you're not growing spiritually and in character development. If you are the same as you today as you was 5 years ago, then you got a problem. Then you have a problem. See, because a lot of us are fixed on external success and we're not fixed on internal success. And we wonder why we look tired and worn out all the time because you're focusing on the wrong things. You're focusing on the wrong things. And when you focus on the wrong things, your body shows it because you're not transforming internally, because you're focusing on external matters of the world that's actually bringing you more stress and sickness. Another is receiving of others. You know, a lot of us don't receive others well, especially those that are close. Then we ended up listening to people on Instagram that we don't know and we never met. And because they just popping and they got 150,000 zillion billion followers, and we listen to them, but we don't listen to the people that's in our circle. So even the scripture, even the life of Jesus is telling of a growth mindset. And you know what's crazy? They didn't even get that then. And many of us don't get it now that even go to church, because if we had growth mindsets, our communities will be different. How we treat each other will be different. We wouldn't have high crime in our communities if we was listening to Jesus. See, when you really look into the scriptures, you find out that and I say we are real hypocrites to the scriptures that we claim. Because we're not doing anything that's in that scripture. And and when I say we, so don't take it personal, but it is what it is. Because we walk around with fixed mindsets instead of growth mindsets, and the Black community look like hell. Many of our communities ain't changed in 25, 30, 40 years. That's not having a growth mindset. That's not having a growth mindset. That's having a fixed mindset. And unfortunately, we're fixed in things that are not doing us good, especially not giving us spirituality and character, masculinity and femininity and the divine essence. Come on now. Y'all got to hear what I'm saying. Because if you feel that is not true, then why are we still facing the issues that we're facing in our communities? So that's it for the morning tea. And I want to thank everybody who's watching. Peace and blessings. Have a blacktastic day. And remember, God is in your vegetables.